additional hardship to learning it. But yeah.
We have a new guest that's entered the studio. Mike Graham of the Independent Republic of Mike Graham. I never thought you would come on, Mike, but you look like you're at the back of a bus or something. You're reliving your childhood.
I am.
What are you doing at the back of a bus?
I am in the back of a bus. I thought you'd appreciate me being a man of the people and all that, you know.
Yeah.
I know. I know you thought I'd never do this, but that's why I'm doing it. I like surprising you.
Fantastic. So, Mike, you lived in America for a long time. You had your own news company when you were in New York. You have family in America.
Some of them
you go there quite often.
I do.
Tell me, why is America such a great country and the ideals that it represents? Going back to when it was founded, when it beat British imperialism. And obviously it's had its darker ages as well, with slavery and other things, and reckless wars in the Middle East. But I'm trying to make this show more about America that transcends politics. I'm not going to make it too partisan, like Democrats versus Republicans, or bum up Donald Trump too much. But tell us your experience and what you love about America as a country.
I wrote a piece today actually about it, and about how on the 250th anniversary of independence for America, why it was a great deal for them, but not such a great deal for us.
Did you tweet that onto your X profile?
It's on my Substack, so
I
you can only read it if you sign up to my Substack, I'm afraid. But I'll talk about it on Monday.
All right, you can tell us about it here.
Yeah. So what I said was that, you know, imagine if it hadn't happened, and that's when it starts to get interesting. Because if you said, if you look at the way America is right now, and if it was still run by Britain, and particularly Starmer, how awful would it be? The defences would be completely depleted. They wouldn't have any ability to fight Iran or go to war with anyone. They wouldn't be able to in any way stand up to Russia or China, because we'd have no defence at all. It
would have a lot more Muslims in there as well.
You would have an awful lot of immigrants who would not have previously been stopped to get in there by Donald Trump. You now have, mass immigration ruining the entire country. You would have no economy. You would have no businesses. You'd have businesses closing down. Americans would not stand for that. In this country,
you'd have less free speech as well. You know, America really big on the First Amendment.
Are you going to tell me what I wrote, or are you going to let me tell you what I wrote? You know, that's what I'm saying. So all of those, there's like 5 pillars. I know that you like 5 pillars, don't you? 5 pillars of what I call America are free speech, a good economy, a fantastic defense policy, a brilliant ability to be nationalistic and to not be frightened of being nationalistic, and also to run businesses in a way that people actually appreciate that you make money. In this country now, you can't make money. People think you're doing something wrong. And the great thing about America is that when I moved there in the 80s, I came from a country like Britain, which was on its knees economically. You couldn't do anything. Nobody could make any money. And when I went there, it was like nirvana to me. I was like, people in America actually like you making money. They appreciate it if you make money. And they're quite happy for you to pay taxes, but they'd rather you made money in order to spend the money in the places that you want to spend it in. And that's for me, that's the big difference between even conservative governments in Britain are less libertarian than America. And I think America, people who live there, and like you say, my family live there, they understand that individuals should have the right to be individuals. And that's the most important thing, I think, about America.
Yeah, and you win at the right time. The 80s was the golden era.
Say again, Frank?
Oh, I said he went at the right time. The 1980s was the golden era.
Ronald Reagan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was Ronald Reagan that originally coined the term "Make America Great Again." That's where that phrase comes from.
He used to refer to America as the whited golden sepulchre on the hill, which it was. because it was the great kind of savior of capitalism, and people went there to make their fortune, and they made their fortune. If you come to Britain now to make your fortune, you just get taxed into oblivion, and you end up leaving.
You're doing quite well, Mike. You've no left. You're getting taxed.
I've done okay.
What's going on there?
Well, I've done okay because I've worked hard. I've made money. I've employed people.
Yeah.
I'm talented. I'm good at what I do. And I'm old now. You know, I'm 65 years old. But I'll tell you what, if this government gets any worse, and if these people try and take more tax off me, I'm going to leave. And I wouldn't have no qualms about leaving. You know, I haven't just been lucky. I've been good at what I did. I've built businesses. I've employed people. And I've created income for the government. Do you know, at my height, when I was making paid an awful lot of money by News UK to do my show, I was paying in VAT alone £250,000 a year to the government. Right? That was their charge. That was their charge on my business. I didn't make any money out of that. They weren't taxing me on income. They were taxing me on VAT, value-added tax, on what I was charging people to work for them. So over 4 years, I paid £1 million to this government, or to whatever government was before.
Yeah.
And I got nothing out of it. What the fuck is that all about? Sorry to swear.
No, you're welcome to swear on here. It really is. I constantly hear people like yourself and Julia Hartley-Brewer and Jeremy Kyle saying that we're currently the most taxed since World War II. You know, and they're introducing taxes for new things like the green energy levies, a lot of other stuff as well. You know,
sounds like California
right now. In this country, is government's too big. There's too many people working in government. 73% increase in civil service. Civil service jobs have gone up 73% in 10 years. Right, billions and billions of pounds. The state is getting bigger. The state is getting bigger and bigger. And it's driving good, by the way. The state is getting bigger and bigger. We're being asked to pay more and more money to make sure the state can continue to get bigger, only so that it can take money off us. It's ridiculous, insane. It's insane.
Obviously, we have Nigel Farage and Reform UK, and they're currently the favourites to form the next government. Nigel Farage is a good friend of Donald Trump's. How do you think Reform UK will help ease the current tax burden in the UK? Do you think they'll make really that much of a difference?
Well, they say they will, and they've set themselves out as the party that will recognise business and recognise entrepreneurialism and recognise people who want to make money, and they won't punish them. And I think that would be good. But at the moment, they're all trying to assassinate Nigel Farage massively. They're trying to make out that he's a bad guy. He's got too much money. He's got too many houses. He's got too many, friends that donate money to him. I don't understand why they're trying to kill him. But
I think Nigel Farage would be a good choice for you guys. If I may, real quick about government, George.
Well, I'm a member of Reform UK.
George Washington said,
"Government is just as a paying member."
Yeah,
but Mike, so let me introduce you to Frank here. Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Frank lived in California for a long, long time, but he kept getting beat up by gangs for different ethnic groups. So he's now lived in China for the last 20 years.
Really?
And he's fluent in Mandarin. Yeah, Frank, go ahead. Meet Mike Graham of the Independent Republic of Mike Graham.
Mike, good to meet you. I'm curious, when you moved to the States in the 80s, where did you live? Florida or California?
In New York City. No, I lived in New York City.
Okay.
But I traveled all over, basically.
Nice. Yeah, my father's from New York, so I have a little familiarity with it.
Yeah.
At one time, it was known as the greatest city on earth. That in Pittsburgh. I was going to offer
Orlando, Florida once when I was 12 years old, and I loved it.
You went to Florida?
I want to go back.
Alligators. Yeah, watch out for the alligators.
Yeah, I mean, I lived in New York, but I went to Florida, I went to LA quite a lot, I went to Texas a lot, I went to Minneapolis. I covered the Jeffrey Dahmer trial in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
I went to Detroit quite a lot, I went to Chicago a lot. You know, I was all over. I was a journalist for Fleet Street newspapers, so yeah, I had a pretty good view of what was going on in America, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. You know,
Yeah, I
loved
was
every
going to
second of
say
it. I'm just getting off
about
the
you guys
bus
were
now. Sorry.
discussing
Sorry about
government a
that. I
moment
couldn't hear.
ago.
I wasn't sure if people on the bus would start
No
giving me
worries.
shit for, you know, having opinions, because you know what it's like in Britain now. You can't be fucking sure. But listen,
You're
no,
currently in
listen.
London, Mike.
Hey, I'm currently in London, yeah.
Right.
So I'm walking home now. I'm gonna hopefully not have my phone fucking stolen as I'm holding it in front of
Yeah.
me. But you know, listen, we are the last of the vanguard, is what I would say to you. Like I say, 80s America under Ronald Reagan was brilliant. For me, that was the ultimate economic kind of model where
Yeah.
people. Ronald Reagan used to say the worst statement you can ever hear is from somebody turning up going, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help you,"
Yeah.
because people don't want the government in their lives. You know, I don't want them to tell me what to eat. I don't want to tell me who to have sex with. I don't want them to tell me, you know, what I should be doing with my car, whether I should have an electric. You know, fuck off. Just don't tell me what to do. That's all I want from government, right?
Yeah.
And right now in Britain, we have got the worst, most authoritarian government we've ever had. I think
Right. It's terrible.
it's
Just
awful.
telling Frank earlier on, you know, every year for the last few years in the UK, you've had over 10,000 people chucked in jail for Facebook comments,
Yeah,
tweets. And in
thousands of
Russia,
people.
it's
Yeah,
like less than 3,000 a year.
yeah. The
That would
Free
have been
Yeah,
Speech Union.
unthinkable 20 years ago.
I was talking
that's
to
what I was
someone
going
from
to
the
say
Free.
is that
Sorry, man.
government is not the answer. George Washington said, "Government is not reason. It's not eloquence. It is force. And like fire, it is a dangerous servant and a fearful master." So, government's definitely not the answer we need for
Yeah.
the world's situation.
No, it really isn't. That's a
Smaller
very
government.
eloquent. You put that very eloquently, and I agree with you. It's, you know, these people are not clever. You know, they're not smart. Most of them now are managerial class, lanyard class, people who would otherwise be working at a university. They're not smart. They're not innovative. They don't have any ideas. All they know how to do is to say, "You can't do that," and here's
Maintain
why
the
you can't
status
do it.
quo.
They don't have any kind of. They have nothing to bring to the party, if you know what I mean. They have no,
Yeah.
you know, interesting ideas. They can't. They don't know how to fix the economy. They don't know how to fix the country, and we are now basically in the shit, big time.
Correct. Mike, what's your assessment of Donald Trump's economic plan with his tariffs that he's
I
now
think the tariffs are
obviously put
great.
down when the
I think Donald Trump has proven that the tariff system, which was completely and utterly denounced by the European Union, and
yeah,
denounced by that idiot Keir Starmer, who thank God is no longer going to be our prime minister. I think
yeah,
tariffs work. Donald Trump has
right.
proven that tariffs work.
hmm
You know, end of story. And he puts a
There
little
are some
squeeze on
counter
somebody.
arguments online as if they've actually really worked or not. You know, maybe it was written by some Trump hating lefty, but some sources said that the tariffs failed to bring back manufacturing to America.
Well, there's only one place that has no manufacturing in this world, and that's Britain. We
Right.
literally don't manufacture anything. We used to have millions of people engaged in manufacturing, and now we have none.
Uh-huh.
You know, literally, we don't
Yeah.
make anything.
And
I'm just
Mike,
walking past the
if
dog. Sorry.
say for example, if you were the president of the United States of America,
Mm.
what would you do differently that Donald Trump is currently doing?
I don't think I would do anything differently. I think Donald Trump is an incredible guy. I think he has made the occasional misstep because he's very unusual in his approach, shall we say, to politics. And I think he can be a bit petty sometimes, and he can be a little bit too sensitive to people criticizing him. But overall, I think his instincts are right. You know, his instincts are correct. He wants to do what's good for America, and he might want to put his name on everything, and he might want to be a bit too, shall we say, conceited about what America remembers him for. But I don't think I would say that he did terribly much wrong. I mean, people now, it's fashionable now to say that, you know, the MAGA movement is dead. they've all given up on him. He's gone a bit mad. You know, he's coming up to the midterms. He's going to lose them all, and he fucked up in Iran and all of that. You know, take your pick of the criticisms. He's overall, I would say, if you were going to judge Donald Trump's kind of time in office, I would say 7 out of 10, which is a fucking lot bigger than anybody else that's been there for a long time.
That's a fair assessment. But what do you think? I was listening to, is it Marjorie Taylor Greene, who used to be a big supporter of his? She was on Piers Morgan a few nights ago.
Yeah,
and she said
Trump
that she and Tucker Carlson both left for a couple of reasons. One of them is because he wasn't doing enough for the Epstein files, and the criticism of the Iran war as well was another reason. What's your assessment of Donald Trump and the Epstein files? Because some people say the reason he's not releasing too much of them is because he was in them, he was on the island. But just because you were in the island or on the files doesn't mean that you actually done anything wrong.
No.
Donald Trump banned Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago when he found out that he was a nonce.
There's no question, right, that if Trump had done anything wrong with Epstein, that would have come out by now. Because
you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think he may well have been there. He may well have been unwise to know the guy, but the guy was clearly very much what you might call a Svengali figure, all over the place. He knew everybody. His whole raison d'etre, Epstein, was to put people together, to talk to people, to know people, to introduce them to other people. I think if the Trump had done anything terrible, there's an awful lot of crap on social media, on the internet, about his supposed role, to the point where there's some fakery going on. I really don't believe that Trump was involved in any kind of pedophile type behavior. I think
accusations do not amount to guilt. People can accuse you of anything.
I don't think so either.
People accuse me of shit all the time, and I'm not Donald Trump. And they're all crap, So I don't think that's an issue really at all. I think Trump should go down in history as one of the most incredible presidents they've ever had. You might not like what he did, but he certainly changed the shape of the nation, and he shook it up a bit, So I would say we should be glad that Trump did what he did, and
I would.
People, you know what it's like. People either love Trump or hate him. And if you hate him,
I would add that he's almost made it safe enough for me to come home.
Yeah, I mean,
good one.
What is that? Do you think that's possible?
I do. I think if he had another 4 years, I'd be ready to pack up and head home. But
Right.
we got to see what's going to happen after his term is finished. If JD Vance gets in, I think it will be a celebration of Frank Monday's return to the great land of the free.
I think it's Marco Rubio that's the favorite to take over from Donald Trump.
Democrats recovering at all, right? I just don't.
Say that again, Mike. You don't think the Democrats will recover again, no?
No, I don't think they will. I think they're finished. The best they
They didn't seem to have any real charismatic figures.
Well, they've still got Kamala Harris as a possible, presidential candidate. Are you fucking joking?
Gavin Gruesome.
Absolutely unbelievable. Anyway, listen, I'm going to have to go because I've got home now. So I'm sorry to cut you short.
One last thing I want to say to you. I am a bit suspect of you. You're wearing a flowery Hawaiian shirt, and it was a Pride March in central London today. Is that where you came from?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was there getting my ass bummed. Yeah, that's because that's what I like to do in my spare time. No,
I always thought that about you.
I've never been to a Pride March. I'm never fucking going to one either.
You're looking very M16.
You know what? I couldn't have asked for a better first show. I know it's still small, and I've only got 380 subscribers, but I'm going to try and grow it over the years.
Listen, I've known Kenny for many years. He used to come on my show when I was in Scotland, Talk 107, 20 years ago. And you haven't aged, by the way. I don't know what you're taking or rubbing on your face, but you don't look a day older than you did 20 years ago. So, anyway,
say that aging.
I'm happy I was able to join you, and I'm going to go
Probably
watch the
because I
rest of the
stopped
French
drinking
game.
16 years ago. Yeah, I'll be watching.
That's
I'll be
true.
watching the French game, of course. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to go
I'll
watch
be
the French
watching
game.
that. Mike, lovely
So,
to see you, mate.
Listen, good to see you, man.
And thank you so much for
Good to meet you,
blessing
Mike.
my show, my first show.
And nice to meet you.
I can't
And
thank
listen-
you enough.
Yeah, no, not at all. See you later, man. Good luck.
Have a great one.
See you later.
Cheers. That was Mike Graham of the Independent Republic of Mike Graham. He has his own YouTube channel. He's a big radio host. He's independent now. If you pop over his YouTube channel, just key in Mike Graham on YouTube. And he's also on X as well. Thank you very much, Mike, for coming on.